I'm Alexis Berenger.
And I'm Julia Paisantini, and we want to share with you how Gateway has impacted our lives. Last year was a pretty hard year. One of the things being that when I turned 26 years old, I was no longer eligible to be on my parents' insurance. And I had been going to a PA in town my entire adult life. So since I turned 18, I had been seeing her. But when I turned 26, I could no longer afford that because just for an office visit, it would cost me hundreds of dollars. And if I needed to go get testing somewhere or blood work somewhere, that would just add on to the expense of that. It still is a struggle to find an insurance for me. With some plans, I don't qualify because I make too much money, or the ones that I do qualify for, meaning that my old PA at the time accepted that insurance and the insurance would cover my medications that I need every day. It would be hundreds of dollars a month, or on top of that, thousands of dollars deductibles. And I work 3 jobs. I work about 50 hours a week, and I'm a full-time college student. So it's been really, really hard. So my best friend Alexis and I, our birthdays are actually only 1 day apart, and I know once we both turned 26, we lost our insurance. So I know the whole time I wasn't alone. She was going through the same thing I was going through. And my mom went with me when I went to Gateway, and the second we got in the car, we looked at each other and we were like, oh my gosh, I have to tell Alexis about this.
So then when she told me, I kind of like I heard it and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Things have been so hard to deal with health stuff lately because there's not access to people who don't have insurance. And just before I lost my insurance in July, I got some blood work done and was diagnosed as pre-diabetic. So basically, I was given this diagnosis and then sent out on my own at the end of July. And I was terrified because I was like, I don't know how to manage this. Like, I wasn't given any, resources to look through or places to go for information to learn on my own. So basically, I didn't have any blood work done or anything up until the point that Julia told me about Gateway. So she actually made a Snapchat story later on in the day after she told me about it and was talking more in depth about her experience there. And I decided I needed to call. So I actually emailed the facility and asked if I could set up an appointment. And they called me again. And that was, first of all, that was a really big thing for me, that they were continuing to reach out because sometimes, things slip your mind, you get busy. I'm a full-time artist, I own a small business, so I'm working a lot. And when I first walked in, they asked me, well, do you have insurance? And I said no, reluctantly. I always reluctantly say I don't have insurance because you always get some weird level of judgment about it, as if over half the population isn't struggling with the same thing.
That's why I think another reason why I waited so long to go in, because I was almost embarrassed.
Yeah,
you go in there and you say, I don't have insurance. I don't want people to think, well, why doesn't she? Does she?
Right.
You get nervous.
When I told them I didn't have insurance, they said, oh, okay, good. Well, they showed me this chart and they said, do you make less than this number here, which was $41,000? And I was like, yeah, I make a lot less than that. And they were like, oh my gosh, you're our favorite kind of person. We're here for you. And I was like, what? I'm almost in tears now just talking about it. I was so just taken aback because no other doctor or office has been excited that I didn't have insurance so that they could help me, Nobody has been that welcoming about it. So I'm a full-time artist and a photographer. So the money that I do make, most of it goes right back into my business. So unfortunately, you have to cut corners where you can, and one of those things has been health, and it shouldn't have to be, I think there's been one or two times since July that I broke down and had to go to an urgent care because I didn't know where else to go, but I needed antibiotics. I was very sick. And I went to an urgent care in Midland, and I didn't even actually get to see my doctor. They wanted me to wait in my car, which was fine. I stayed in the car, had a virtual visit with my doctor for 2 minutes. He said, yeah, it sounds like the flu, but we're going to test you for COVID. So they came out to the car, gave me a COVID test, went back in, they called in medication, and I picked that up later, and that was it. The whole encounter was about 10 minutes long, and I was charged $200. So, and I was like in tears about it, because I'm like, I literally don't have $200 that's not already accounted for, All of the money that I have is accounted for. So, that's terrifying. And I know so many friends of mine even who just don't go to the doctor. They know things are wrong, they know they need to see a doctor, but they don't because there's literally not an option. So Gateway is the actual first option I have ever seen for people in that situation.
Yeah, that's another reason why I waited so long, is because, like she said, with no insurance, an office visit is hundreds of dollars. I go to school full time, plus that money goes to tuition, books, rent, my car insurance. I put my health on the bottom of the totem pole in terms of priorities. If I was hurt or I was sick, oh well. But it's so amazing that in one office visit, if you qualify, it's only $40. So that includes the office visit. That includes any testing, like blood work, anything that they can do in office. It's only $40. There's no scam, there's no catch. It's so affordable, and they listen to you. They don't judge you. They want you to be happy. They want you to be healthy.
Yeah.
And I would recommend Gateway to anybody.
So I was literally given all the resources that I need to address things that have been plaguing me mentally for months. So not only has this helped me physically, but mentally I feel a literal weight has been lifted off of my chest that if I'm sick, if something happens, I have somewhere to go.